Nu verkar jag vara på där också.
Nu funkar den, ja. Bra.
Ska jag på så här. Jag mår. Jaha, det är live det. Det är därför. Oj, vi får ta wall här nu på. Yep.
Nu.
So welcome everybody and thank you for coming today. I'm excited to present our class today and start the presentation. So we are a 10 people group and we work most of the time in small groups, but with this project we worked all of the 10 of us together. And I truly can say that everybody worked really hard on it, and we give all of us knowledge, all of skills, and all the ideas to make this project a success. But I'm going to introduce everybody. So my name is Adrian, and we have Ali, Anton, Carl, we have Caroline, Danielle, Leo, Love, Morten, and Victor. Yeah, and I can give the word to Carol.
Thank you, everybody. So I'm going to talk about the requirements we had for this project. First, we started with the mobile version. So it was a requirement to have the mobile first and to be functional and intuitive through the whole application. We also wanted to have performance metrics where we could see the scores and the strength and progress of our developers. We worked with a target audience, and it was us as developers. There we could showcase our projects and our skills, education, you will see, and also the sales team, who are the ones that would use the application most. They can search for skills and find the best match for the job. We also wanted to have a admin dashboard. There we could control the developer status and the roles for all users. We also had this requirement of using the architecture we learned here at SALT that we call it feature slices. So we call it feature slices because we want to be more descriptive, and it's based on vertical slice concept. And basically, it means that you have the front end and the back end, everything together in like you can say, a new feature. All the features have everything in the same place. So it will be easier for us to work together. So now you can see Leo.
Thank you, Caroline. So I'm going to give you a quick demo of how the app looks. This is not really supposed to be. So this is our homepage that our design team made completely beautiful. So this is landing page we have. Here you have our developers in focus. So at the moment we have chosen Morten, Adrienne, and Victor. So if we would like, we can see that they have a little interview. So we can see their interview here and just learn a little bit more about them and their experience here and about the interview. Then we also made it so that we have all of our developers here that are published. So these are our published developers. And we also made a searching feature that we will talk more about later. But here I will search for Ali. There we go. And then I will give the word over to Anton so he can describe what this is.
Yeah, thank you, Leo. Yes, so when you have chosen a developer, this is like their private page. Oops. Yeah, so it looks very similar to the page before, but now you also have this edit pen here, so you can, yeah, if you learn a new language or a new skill, you can edit your profile. So the first thing you will do is upload a picture, but our application doesn't have storage for pictures, so you will have to supply a URL to somewhere else. And then we have normal text fields for name and role and a headline, like what you want to highlight with your profile. And then languages, education, and skills. We added this suggestions dialogue, because when you learn a lot of techniques, it's hard to keep track of everything. So this will help you when you like, when I made my profile, I was, okay, I didn't remember everything, so it was a lot of help, this dialogue. And then a GitHub link and a link to your CV site, or if you want to download it. And then we have another feature called scoring, because here at SALT we have weekend assignments, so you get scored and a grade for every weekend. And this is the average of all the assignments you have done. So we have like a level system. If the higher percentage you have, the higher level you will have. And then a spider graph. This is to like get a good overview of what the different assignments, what strengths the student had on the different assignments. And here are all the assignments that this student has done. And if you want more information, you can click on it to get, okay, this hack week had conversation, team collaboration, management, design, and back and front end. And if you are an instructor, you can edit the assignment and change the score maybe, or add a comment. Yeah, that was.
Okay, so quickly we're going to talk about the project section. So for this section, we as developers can choose to highlight some of the projects that we have been working on. And this is mainly meant to give some quick information about the projects. So if you want to learn more about the project, there's a link here to the GitHub repository where you hopefully can learn a lot more about the project. So this is just to create some interest for the different projects. And we have some metrics here on the side, which is the amounts of commits and issues. And if you have hosted the website, you also get a performance score down here below. And there's a quick, a short description about the project. And if you as a developer want to edit some details, you can click up here. So say you have made some changes that would increase the performance score. You can click here, update score, and it will do the calculations again for the performance. Also, if you want to change the image or the description, you can do it here and save the changes. Or if you want to delete the project, you could do it here as well. So let's say we want to create a new project. We can do it down below. And you had to provide the URL for the GitHub repository. And if you have hosted, this is an optional feature. You can provide the link or the URL for the hosted site here, and the image and the description, and then you submit it. Now I'm gonna leave the word to Ollie, who's gonna talk about the admin page.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. I'm going to show you guys how admin panel is working. works. So we have a basic admin panel where developers and identities are separated. So the developers are we, and identities are everyone else inside of the application. So going back to our developers. So for example, Victor is for now highlighted, so we can change him to published, and he will be removed from the homepage to published only, and he will be only seen in developers list, but we don't want to do that. But we can change, for example, call to unpublished, and that will change him to unpublished. So he will not be seen in the developer list either. We're gonna publish him for now. And for identities, this is everyone inside of the application, such as Matthias and Marcus and all of the developers. And in the future, you guys will be in there too, and with the assigned roles, as said here. And for the search, we have a simple search configuration. Here we can add a synonym. For example, if you want to add, we say, oh, not this test, but test and Python, and we can add it, and then hopefully an update worked. Nope, another one. Yep, it worked. So we can go back to developers and do a quick search. Now everyone with the developer skills should show up, and with the Python the skills, and here it works. All right, and that's it for me. No, actually, no. I got a last word that I should show something for with the UI. So with the it works with on the phone too, since it was designed for the phone first. So everything works for the phone, and you can go back to admin, and everything works here too. Yep. That's it for me. Let me close this. And now I will give it to Daniel. What is it?
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I will be talking about how we collaborated as a team to build this project. I will cover the development approach, team structure, leadership strategies, and the tools we use to stay organized and efficient. Our development approach was shaped by the needs of our target audience, which Caroline mentioned, was primarily instructors and the sales team. We focused on delivering a solution that was both efficient and scalable to meet their specific requirements. And our team consisted of 10 members. And since this was the first time we worked in this manner, we took the time to establish a workflow that would allow us to collaborate as smoothly as possible. We all worked in a shared repository, but as the project progressed, we branched out to work on specific tasks and features. Initially, we organized the team to focus on the 3 main areas of the developer profile, which was the background, the scores and assignments, and the projects. And after completing these sections, we divided into smaller groups to tackle specific feature and technical challenges, such as integrating Millisearch or understanding IAM, Identity Access Management. This structure allowed us to remain flexible and efficient. To ensure that the project stayed on track, we introduced rotating leadership roles. We had product lead, who focused on defining the scope, ensuring that the team met project requirement, and aligning work with the overall vision. We also had tech lead, who thought about technical challenges, maintaining code quality, and assisted with complex implementations. And lastly, we had UI lead, who focused on maintaining a consistent and user-friendly interface designed throughout the whole project. Each week, different team members took on these roles, giving everybody an opportunity to lead and contribute to the project's success. We also held daily stand-up meetings to discuss completed tasks, what was in progress, and plans for the day or the rest of the week, ensuring everybody would stay on track. And for the tools, we relied on three main tools to support our collaborations, which was GitHub, where we used to manage the shared repository with separate branches for different part of the project. We also use GitHub for simplifying merging and conflict handling. And we also use GitHub for creating Kanban boards to organize tasks, although we identified room for improvement in the board structure. Also, we use Notion for notes, where our lead roles could take notes and would share them with the whole group. And lastly, we used Slack for easy communication in the group, and we notified each other about code pushes and also sharing links and resources. And that's mostly our ways of working during this project. Yeah.
Thank you, Daniel. Let's see. Yes, I will talk about the planning of this project. And as mentioned, we were given some requirements. So the tech stack was given to us, also the core features, and the code architecture that was feature slicing. I will come back to that. So we started with making the big picture plan and populating the project board. And then we divided the 3 weeks into different sprints, 6 sprints. So the first week, we set up the project and worked on the core features. The second week we deployed early because we used continuous deployment, so it's important to get it up and running early. And then we added the additional features, the access and permissions, the mail search, the admin panel, and the highlighted developer profiles. And the last 2 sprints was mainly refactoring and testing the applications. But I want to get back to the code architecture because what makes this work was actually the feature slicing and the feature flagging. So when you're working with continuous deployment, it's important that you separate the features, or in this, at least in this setting, so you can turn off a feature with a feature flag. So if it breaks the application, you can just turn it off. You don't have to redeploy, and then you can work on the feature and turn off the flag and turn on the flag if you want to use it in production. And also, feature slicing has been a big part of the bootcamp, and it's independent. It's independent of tech stack, and it's very good for scalability and maintaining a project, because when you can turn off features, and also you have controlled imports. So when you remove, you can remove a feature and you don't break the application. So I would say it's a very business-oriented code architecture. So that was how we planned this, and now I will give the word to Caroline.
So now I'm going to talk about the UI design. We had an approach of making it modern, clean, and minimal. So we could maintain the whole application consistent and beautiful. And there you can see a screenshot of our Figma designs. And we used this tool only to make the essentials designs that we need. So we focused on the needs and not what we wanted to do, because at the beginning we wanted to do 300 designs, and then we saw that we would be a lot of work that we wouldn't use in the future. So we decided to take this approach. So we did everything with a clear purpose. We also used these libraries on our project to build it, ShadCN, Origin UI, and Redux UI. And all of them use each other in some way. ShadCN uses Redux UI, and Origin UI uses ShadCN to build their components. And we also worked together in a team. After the first features were done, we started to gather at the last merge of the day. So we would work on the main branch and make all the features look like each other. Now I'm gonna give the word to Adrienne.
So yeah, accessibility was not our main focus, but we tried to do a little bit. Like we looked at the color contrast, so everything is visible and everybody can use it. We used the bigger buttons, so that's gonna be easier to click on it. And we test with Lighthouse too, to see what can be more improved. For example, when you have a project, you're gonna upload a picture, and then picture is not gonna have alt text because we don't know what is the picture gonna be. So maybe the user can add an alt text to the project picture too. Yeah, and we used also color variables so for example, the text header was a dark black, and we had the text paragraph, it was a gray, and we have the text paragraph light, which was a lighter gray. So we could use it everywhere. So it's not gonna be like different color letters in the whole application, because 10 of the people worked on it. So we had to do a little bit, we had to work together, so do the same colors. We used reusable components, for example, the H1 and the H2 components, so it's gonna be the same header everywhere. Yeah, and as Caro mentioned too, that we try to do it always at the end of the day, because we had to make a consistent website. So we need to work all of the features together and all of the app details together, but we needed a good communication too, so it's not gonna be that much of a conflict when we worked on the design. Yeah, but next is gonna be the search. Other way around, yeah. And I give the word to Victor.
Thank you. I'll talk about search. Our main goal was to provide our sales team with a simple tool where they can search for developers by their education, skills, languages, and other parameters. We chose Search because it's open source, lightweight, and highly customizable. For instance, you can decide which fields are searchable, set the priority to them, and tweak algorithms for misspelling or for ranking. A problem we faced was to make sure that our search and our main database always have the same information. Even if there is some problem with internet connection or some of them is down, we want to eventually make them sync. To solve this, we use outbox pattern, which basically means that whenever a developer profile is created, modified, or deleted, we record this event in a separate table, and we do this in one atomic operation, so that we can ensure the consistency. Later, we use these events to update our search, and we only remove the event if we updated search consistently, successfully. Finally, we want to deploy it somewhere, and we choose fly.io because it's cheap, scalable, and really easy to set up. We only need 2 configuration files, one that is created automatically by fly.io and provided for us. We only need to change some couple of lines. And another is a Docker file, where we only need to specify the version of search and specify the arguments, master key, and the environment's mode. And that's it. You can deploy it and use it. And that's all for me. And now, Morten will tell you more.
Thank you. Yes, so I'm going to talk a bit about access management, and we're going to start off by signing out here, like that. So for the access management, we have been using Clerk, And Clerk provides a lot of different features that you can use for access management. But for us to not get too dependent on Clerk itself, we decided to basically just use the session token that Clerk provides and the UI for the signing. Beyond that, we have built our own access management system. And Al is going to talk a bit more about that later on, how that's implemented. But I'm going to showcase a bit how it works at the moment. So at the moment, we're not signed in at all, which means we shouldn't be able to access some part of the sites. So let's say we try to access developers here, and we get redirected to the sign-in. So let's sign in. And we're going to sign in as Daniel, who has the role as a developer at the moment. And at the moment, we have 3 different roles. We have the developer role, we have the admin role, and the core role. And these 3 roles have different access to the website. So now that we're logged in as a developer, we should be able to access our own profile and be able to edit it so we can display the correct information about ourselves and the information that we feels fitting to present ourselves. But if we go into another developer's profile, we should not be able to edit that profile, for example. So let's say we go into Carl's profile here. We can see that we're not presented with the edit button on the top right. Unfortunately, we're not quite done with this. You're still able to edit the scoring, but the project you cannot edit. But if we go to our own profile, so my profile, and this is the profile that Daniel created, we can edit all of the stuff in our own profile. And also as a developer, we should not be able to access all of the different parts of the site. So if we try to access the admin dashboard, for example, that Ali showcased earlier, we get presented with an error message. And the error handling we're gonna come back to later, but for now I'm gonna hand it to Ali, who's gonna talk more about access management.
Thank you. All right, I have a cheat code here. For our access management, we basically implemented a system to ensure secure, clear, and scalable access control through the whole project. With that said, for the permissions are basically organized into clear categories, such as admin, backgrounds, scores, and projects. And all of these categories represents a specific functionality within the project, done with the permissions, basically. So roles like admin and developers, all of them comes with a predefined sets of permissions. So for example, admin have all of the permissions, while a developer has only limited access to the application. And as you would no. There you go. This one. Predefined list with basic check access, basically the one that what's it called? That checks if a user has the required permission in runtime. If so, then you're good to go. Otherwise, you will trigger an unauthorized error, and you will see an error that Moran showcased. With the check access, it comes with a predefined list, so you will be able to choose from a predefined list instead of just typing the whole permission yourself, and that would make it easier for developers. Just choose one and go on with your life. And this will also reduce the errors, prevents unauthorized access, and ensure consistency through the whole project. Common error especially would be the typos in the permissions. That's it for the IAM. I will now give the word to Carl, who's going to talk about error handling.
Thank you, Oli. Yes, as mentioned before, we were working in small mobs from the beginning, and all the mobs did their own error handling, which made it quite difficult when we merged the project to have a uniform error handling. So we had to make some kind of quite easy error handling for the whole project. So then we decided to make use of Next.js new hook called the use action state, which in an easy way sends arrows from the server to the client. For example, this application is really it's a lot of form validations. So first of all, you have to rely on the client validation, but for some reason, if the client validation doesn't work, you need to have some server validation, so you don't put in some bad data in the database. So then it's very handy to use the use action state so that you can get the arrows on the server side and then send them back to the client side. So that we implemented for the whole project, and then we also have this Next.js error boundaries. Like they have this error.tsx file, which is a catch-all errors in the route layers. So, and that's for the not handled errors. So the expected errors are like the form validation errors, but other errors like Ali or Morten showed us, if you're not if you don't have the admin rights, you shouldn't be able to change a developer's profile, for example. So yeah, we made it work. It was quite hard with Next.js because they have different ways of handling errors depending on if you are in dev mode or if you are in build mode. So you have to make sure that you are always in build mode, because that's the most important thing. Yes, I think that was all about the error handling, and now Leo will say some final words.
Thank you, Carl. And thank you, everyone else. So, I'm not going to thank you just yet. I'm going to talk a little bit about the improvements, first of all. So the improvements we would like to add is, like you saw in the scores and assignments, we still have access to modify other people's scores and their assignments and stuff. That we would like to change, of course. We also have the searching feature, where we'd like to have a clear ranking of what we're searching. So let's say you search for Leo. Instead of having something in someone's bio, Leo come up first. I would come up first because it's my name. And then we would also like to make the website more fluid with colors and make a little bit more transitions where you go through the pages and make the website pop just a little bit more. But basically, what we made was a scalable and usable app that is easy to maintain. And I hope that the sales team and the instructors and the people in talent will be using it soonish, and for many years to come. But that was all from us. Thank you very much. I would like to bring up the entire class, and we can answer the questions from everyone here. Yeah, you too, Anton. Okay. Sarah, first of all.
First of all, great job, everyone. It's so awesome to see what you have done in so few weeks. So very good job. What did you think were the most difficult part with working all of you together?
I think keeping on the same page, like knowing what people were working on, so that you don't do the job twice, or like work on the same place, so you get errors and so on.
I can also take that question a bit, because I was the first, we had product leads, we have design leads, and we had the tech lead. And the first week, I think Marcus was sick, or he was home with his family or something. So I was the first product lead, and it was the first week without any real backing from Marcus. It was very hard having a checkup with everyone and trying to organize actually meetings that made sense, and actually we came up with something. And just organizing everything for the lead was actually pretty hard.
And get the maximum efficiency out of 10 people is pretty hard. You like to get everybody to do something that's valuable for the projects, and at the same time and communicating, that was a challenge, I think.
not just valuable, but also like in what way are we going to do it? Like in what are we going to start with? What are we going to end with? What is like top priority was very hard at the start, at least for me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great job. And I wondered, you mentioned that this could also work from the PNT so that we could use the product. What is the use case for our team to use it? If you could tell us a bit more of how we would use it.
So I don't 100% know what you guys are doing. No, but just to have an understanding of what people actually are here and who is actually going here. Look at our CVs, maybe see what you have hired and what you have recruited, and see maybe compare us with new recruits and stuff like that, and just have a look of what has who has actually been going here and everything like that. Just keeping a track of everyone, basically, is what I would say.
And everything about that developer in the same place. You have the CV, you have the links to GitHub, LinkedIn, you have the scoring. So it's where you can a resource for everything about that developer, right?
It'll probably be used by sales team more because it's mainly developers and instructors. So, but you guys are welcome to use it as well.
Yeah, I'm more interested about the ways of work. Did you have like daily stand-ups, and how did you like wrap up the day because you were so many?
Yeah, so we had the daily meetups where we focused on the tasks that we needed to do. We focused on the minimum viable product. So what we wanted to focus on is to get so the MVP out as soon as possible before we continue to work on the wants. We wanted to do the needs before doing the wants. So that's mostly how we try to do the daily stand-ups. So that's mostly what we did in our daily meetups.
And would it be?
Kan fråga?
Yeah. Would it be easy to leave the project to another developer, like another group? Like, how are you planning to move forward with this? Can you give it to somebody else to?
I mean, the project itself is easy to understand. If you ask us, of course, we're gonna buy it. But we tried our best to make it easy for the next developers to work on it. Separate everything according to the rules. So we did our best, but hopefully it's an easy one for next developers to follow.
Nice, great.
Also with the design team and everything, they made a tremendous job just keeping everything the same way, everything. So I think it would be very easy, like you said, with the light, dark and everything, to just keep the same style of everything.
Yeah.
Thank you. Did you do in the groups, as I understood you were like 3 groups or something? Did you do more programming in the groups when you did all of the tasks, or did you work individually, or how did you?
So we were more flexible with this. Some groups still did. Me, Carl and Anton in our group. We still did a lot together. But of course then to get everything and to actually have the time to actually complete it, we had to split up a bit. So Carl started doing the error handling and me and Anton just went and did little small things that needed to be updated and fixed. I think I can ask the other groups as well. How did you work, Victor?
Yeah, it was pretty similar. Sometimes we split, sometimes we start to work together on some feature and then split again. Then it works between the groups. Yeah. It's happened, yeah.
It's more organic, and then, you can keep it.
It was really fun because we could work with other people, not just the 4 people that we was in the same team. So we were a little bit mixed up. So I worked almost with everybody in the weeks that we worked here, and we changed also. So it was not always the same people in the UI team or on the other teams. So I think it was fun. We did more programming, but we did alone work too.
Yeah, and also like if there was some task needed, then the product lead would try to find somebody that was free, so they can put them on that task. So it worked in that way also.
Right. I got the mic. First, I don't have any questions, but I just want to say, great job. I mean, it looks good. It seems to be smooth. I mean, the design and layout is also very nice. I know that the sales team has asked for this type of tool for a long time, so I'm just looking forward to log in and see how we can use it. And yeah, great job.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that was my question. It seems like a great tool for us. Is it ready? I don't. I speak loud. I speak loud. Is this ready for us to use now directly?
Almost.
Almost.
In some sense, of course, it's ready. You can see, but
Yeah.
let's say you have made an assignment for me, and we haven't done the permissions yet. I can just go in and say, nah, I think I did better. I think I was a little bit better. So at the moment, it is not really 100% usable.
Okay.
But of course, if it's just for you guys and you can just have it, yeah, sure.
Yeah. How many?
Yeah, skills and yeah, of course.
How many developers are in this searchable?
10.
10. Okay, so I can search for you. 10. That's good.
Everyone with an applied email are allowed to make one. Yeah, they can log in and make one.
Super.
Only one.
In different phases, but as Marcus mentioned, I think we will use it like a base, just to search in a easy way, and so we can understand what kind of skills we have, who's available and not. So.
Yeah, I think right now it's more finished for like the sales team and everything, and I think the sales team basically can start using it. It's just maybe in the developers and as well and stuff that will come a little bit later. As well.
Super.
Anyone else?
So I don't have a question. I just want to say thank you all. Super inspiring as always. I think I say from the whole core team that we're super proud, and it's really fun to see you work as a group. It's always a challenge, but I know you will be, ready for the future wherever you ends up by this project. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Before we finish, are you going to talk or can I say something? Okay. So before we finish, I would like for all of us to take a moment and thank ourselves for this hard work that we did. It was many hours and a lot of arguments, but we made it. I also want to thank the core team, the sales team, and everyone who supported us through this bootcamp. And also the instructors who guided us, Alec for an amazing React lecture, and also Matthias for helping us through the labs and being around here and helping the groups. And finally, a very special thank you to Marcus, who challenged us every day, but also gave us some pep talks here and there. Helped us through difficult conversations, but he was not only a mentor, but also a friend during our after work gatherings. So I wish I could push forth all of us into jobs right now, but I can't. So I would like to say thank you for us, thank you for Marcus, and we have a special gift for you.
Thank you so much. You get a hug for a representative hug. Okay, thank you so much. So we're still live somewhere. So just from my perspective, this was one of those like high risk, high rewards moments. I didn't know if we were gonna make something good enough to actually showcase, given that we have less material than when we combine everyone to one single team or one simple product with multiple teams. Also, letting y'all organize yourself, making mistakes. Even if I tell you to feature flag, you still branch off and you have huge conflicts, not social conflicts, but that as well, but Git conflicts. So I think the main thing why I think this works is not just the result, but the way towards the results. Working with multiple teams is just so much harder If you want to go fast, you work alone. If you want to go far, you work together. But working together is more complex by the definition of being connected together. So finding those ways of working that you've done now is usually something that comes years into the business, where like 5+ years of experience, you get to work on these larger assignments and take more product responsibility and solve holistic problems. You got to do that now. So I think this is a really nice experience for you that you will carry for the rest of your life. And I'm so glad that you brought your best and actually managed to deliver something really valuable. And I've seen the code, and I can say this code standard is like order of magnitude better than what we usually see. So we have slowed down a bit. We could have pumped out more features that look better on screen. But if someone reviews the code, it's not perfect everywhere, but it's really good enough, and it's something we can work with in the same tempo in the future with other developers if needed to. And that's fantastic. That's senior work, as I've talked about with the class, that you actually act like seniors. I think we managed to do that. So thank you so much. Thank you. Okay. And then I think it's a wrap up. So Carl and Anton, hit the button. We're done.